What's going on, traders? So this is the weekly outlook video. My name's Clay with Top One Trader, and let's dive into what we got going on here. So today is Friday when I'm recording this, and of course we have the Jackson Hole Symposium. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically where all the heads of the central banks, all the head central bankers, so you got Jerome Powell, you got the Bank of England, European Central Bank, all of the heavy hitters, they all go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and have a conference basically about the state of the financial system globally. So, I mean, it's basically a globalist get together. But that aside, Jerome Powell has not spoken yet today by the time I'm shooting this video. So, when this comes out, it could be a little bit different. We had the FOMC earlier this week, and it really wasn't. I thought it was going to be more of a market mover than it was. So it might be interesting to see what Jerome Powell has to say, the effect it's going to have on the markets, and all that good stuff. So with that being said, we're going to dive into it, and we'll see what we have going on in the upcoming week. And really, aside from some unemployment claims and GDP from the U.S., it's pretty dead in terms of data. Now, the question always arises: do you trade news? Do you not trade news? For me, my opinion. Now, I don't have like a news strategy or anything like that, but I like weeks with a lot of news events, because what does that do? It creates volatility in the market. And why do we want volatility in the market? Because it's going to push the market around, give us those big, long, the volatility needed for some big pushes in the market. So when it is a really dead week like the one that we have here this week upcoming, trading can be a lot more technical. You might want to take some profits, and you might not get some big pushes. But I've really been watching the yen like all week, and I got in some trades earlier this week on CAD yen, which got stopped out here. Had another really good setup on AJ, but we have not gotten the follow through that you would have liked. But we have just been, if I'm talking about us going sideways on these yen pairs, we have not gotten any of the follow through. Now, of course, it's end of the day on Friday, so I don't think that follow through is going to happen today. But if and when, because more than likely we're going to go up and retest these highs, like clearly this is a big gap that would need to be filled. Now that is over 1,000 pips away, so it's not like it's going to happen next week at all. But that being said, I don't know if it's going to happen, and I may be better off just not paying attention to the yen, but us to go test somewhere down to these lows before we really retrace up. And that's what I would really love to see out of a lot of these yen pairs. You can see very similar situation to GJ, and of course we have a lot of divergences here, right? So this is my entry confirmation indicator that I use for entries, but it also works really great for divergences. But this is a divergence from last Friday to this Friday, so that's a big gap of us going sideways in between. So now if we're looking at, say, Euro Aussie, Pound Aussie, right, they look like they're in the midst of wanting to break down a lot of these cross pairs. Now Euro CAD, little different, because we had Canadian inflation this week, which came in as projected. But Euro New Zealand, and this is a trade that has really looked solid. I sent this out. We took this trade in my trading group. This was on the 15th is when I dropped this. And what I've done is, this is an anchored VWAP on the top of here, and as long as we're staying below here, this is like this looks like a great setup, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to look for, now that the trend is really, confirmed, we've broken down below this support, right? So, we get a big push up. This was from the RBNZ last week, and then retraced down. We've broken the support, so now my game plan and one of the big setups I'm going to be looking for come into the upcoming week is some sort of retracement into this VWAP, into this area, now that the trend is confirmed, and then getting in on shorts there. So now if we look at, okay, well, it looks like Jerome Powell just popped off. See if it's looking like this on all of the pairs, right? Okay, so interesting. So Powell must have literally just given his speech this morning at Jackson Hole. There's euro dollar, pound dollar, and clearly this is signaling dollar weakness. And if we look at dollar Swiss here, this is another really solid trade that I'd taken this past week on dollar Swiss, which hit our 1 to 3 take profit. So 1 to 3 risk to reward here. So looking for dollar weakness, and man, obviously gold is made a new high. We just retested those highs, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this rolls over into next week. And if we take a look at some of these indices here, kind of a standstill, right? We got, what a wick that is after his speech, right? So we'll see how the market in the upcoming week really digests this info. We don't have any new data other than some unemployment's GDP. Unemployment might be a bit of a hitter, but the big one is going to be always inflation. And then if the Fed rolls back, cuts rates next month, that like they're suspected to do or expected to do, that's going to be a big deal. So let's absolutely crush it this week. Last week of the month, let's go. We got some big offers, things happening with Top One that you'll hear more about on our Instagram and social media and stuff. So make sure that you stay tuned. Let's have an awesome week, everybody. Peace.